Right now, at this very moment, the world is standing at the edge of something massive. Israel has delivered a direct warning to the United States, to President Trump. The message is simple and it is serious. Finish the job on Iran's nuclear program and its ballistic missiles, or Israel will. This is not a threat from decades ago. This is not old news. This happened in the last few weeks, behind closed doors, at the highest levels of power. And today, we are going to break down exactly what is happening, why it matters to every single person on this planet, and what could come next. Stay with me, because this story is far from over. To understand where we are right now, you need to understand what already happened. In June of 2025, Israel launched a major military operation against Iran. It lasted 12 days. During that time, Israel struck Iran's ballistic missile production facilities, damaged its air defense systems, and targeted its nuclear infrastructure. The United States joined in the final days, using its most powerful bunker-busting bombs to hit Iran's underground nuclear sites at Fordow, Natanz, Isfahan. When it was over, here is what the numbers looked like. Iran's ballistic missile stockpile dropped from roughly 3,000 down to about 1,500. Its missile launchers went from 400 down to 200, and its nuclear enrichment capabilities were, in the words of U.S. officials, significantly damaged. Both Trump and Netanyahu called it a success. But here is the problem. Iran did not stop. Iran started rebuilding. Within months of that war ending, Israeli intelligence began picking up signals that Iran was not sitting still. Israeli officials reported early signs of a renewed buildup of Iran's missile capabilities. They said Iran had more motivation to rebuild than at any point since the June war. Here is what concerns Israel the most. Analysts believe that if Iran's ballistic missile production is left unchecked, Tehran could produce up to 3,000 missiles per year. 3,000 missiles a year. That number is critical because during the June war, Iran launched over 500 ballistic missiles and around 1,100 drones at Israel. 32 people were killed, over 3,000 were wounded, and 13,000 Israelis were displaced from their homes. Now imagine that arsenal doubled, tripled. And that is exactly what Israel is afraid of. On top of the missiles, Israeli officials are also watching Iran's nuclear sites closely. U.S. and Israeli intelligence have made tracking Iran's recovery efforts a top priority. They are using satellite images. They are intercepting communications. They are using human sources on the ground. And what they are seeing is activity. At nuclear sites that were not fully destroyed, Iran is operating. Iran is digging deeper, trying to build facilities beyond the reach of even the most powerful bombs. This is where the story gets intense. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu traveled to Florida, to Mar-a-Lago, to meet President Trump directly. And the main topic on the table was Iran. Netanyahu did not just discuss the nuclear program. He presented Trump with Israel's concerns about the ballistic missile program. He shared intelligence. He laid out the threat. And then he raised the possibility of a second round of strikes on Iran in 2026. A U.S. official confirmed that Netanyahu discussed what was described as a potential round 2 of military action against Tehran. Now, Trump's response was clear. After the meeting, Trump told reporters, and I want you to hear this carefully. He said that if Iran tries to rebuild its nuclear program, the United States will destroy it again. He said the response, quote, may be more powerful than the last time. On the ballistic missiles, Trump said, if they continue with the missiles, yes, the nuclear, fast. Those are not vague statements. That is a direct warning from the President of the United States to the Supreme Leader of Iran. But here is where it gets complicated. Trump and Netanyahu did not agree on a specific timetable. They did not agree on a specific threshold. There is no detailed plan that has been made public. The tension, according to U.S. officials, is in agreeing on what exactly counts as Iran reconstituting its program. Where is the red line, and who decides when it has been crossed? Now, let us talk about what Israel is actually saying and what the "or else" really means. Netanyahu stood before the Israeli Knesset, their parliament, and made a statement that left very little room for interpretation. He said Israel will not allow Iran to restore its ballistic missile industry. And Israel will certainly not allow Iran to renew the nuclear program that was significantly damaged. But behind the scenes, the picture is even more serious. Israeli officials have told U.S. counterparts that they view Iran's missile rebuild as a more immediate threat than the nuclear program. Why? Because missiles can be launched fast. Nuclear weapons take longer to develop, but a stockpile of thousands of ballistic missiles, that is a weapon that exists right now. Some Israeli officials have even raised the idea of regime change in Iran. A former Israeli consul stated publicly that Israel is thinking about regime change, because otherwise, as he put it, we will have to go round after round after round. And there is one more piece of this puzzle that not many people are talking about. Israeli intelligence has warned the U.S. that Iranian missile drills could be cover for a surprise attack. The IDF Chief of Staff raised this concern directly with the head of U.S. Central Command. Israel's risk tolerance has dropped significantly. After October 7, 2023, after everything that has happened, Israel is not willing to wait and hope. Of course, Iran is not staying quiet. Tehran has responded directly to these threats. Iran's Revolutionary Guard spokesman stated clearly that Israel should remember the damage it took during the recent war and learn from it before considering another attack. He added that Iran's power is increasing every single day, and that while Israel talks about a weakened Iran in the media, Tehran knows exactly how strong its missile capabilities remain. Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian warned that any new attack on Iran would be met with a harsh response. And Iran's foreign minister wrote directly to President Trump in a public statement urging him to reopen negotiations. He described a, quote, brief window of opportunity for diplomacy. Iran has always maintained that its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes, that its missile program is purely defensive, and that neither is up for negotiation. So now you have two sides, both saying they are right, both saying they are prepared, and the entire world watching to see which one moves first. So where does this leave us? There are three scenarios that analysts are watching right now. Scenario 1, diplomacy works. Trump opens talks with Iran. A deal is reached on the nuclear and missile programs. The tension fades, at least for now. Trump himself has said he would prefer this path. Iran's foreign minister is signaling openness. Scenario 2, Iran rebuilds beyond the red line. The U.S. and Israel determine that Iran has taken real and verifiable steps to reconstitute its capabilities, and strikes happen again. A round 2, potentially larger than the first. Scenario 3, Israel acts alone. European diplomats have suggested that Israel could strike Iran again in 2026, even without U.S. approval. Israel has the capability. Israel has the motivation, and Israel has made it very clear it will not sit back and watch Iran rebuild. U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham has already stated publicly that the United States should strike Iran again if there is credible evidence of a rebuild. The intelligence agencies on both sides are working around the clock. Every satellite pass, every intercepted communication, every source on the ground matters right now. The next few months could define the shape of the Middle East for a generation. This is not a story that is finished. This is a story that is just beginning. Israel has drawn a line. Trump has backed it publicly. Iran has refused to back down. The world is watching, and the next move could change everything. Keep watching, stay informed, and understand. What happens in the Middle East does not stay in the Middle East. It reaches all of us. Thank you for watching. If this helped you understand what is happening, share it. Because right now, information is the most powerful tool any of us has.